What's going on, guys? Flynn here, and today we'll be looking at Mad Games Tycoon 2. This game is developed by Eggcode Games, which I believe is a German company, and it's actually released today, but it was in early access for a little bit over 2 years. I haven't actually played the first one, but from my understanding, this one's basically an improvement in almost every single way. Some obvious inspirations here are something like Game Dev Tycoon, which is a good game. I had a lot of fun with it, but if you found it a little bit lackluster when it comes to depth, I think you might enjoy this one a little bit more. So taking a look at the settings, the options are somewhat bare bones, but it does have 144 frames per second, which if you're like me and enjoy high refresh rates, that's a nice plus. Jumping right into a game here, you start out in 1976 with basically nothing. You sell your car to fund a game studio, which I'm not sure is the most financially responsible decision. You set up departments like development and research, and you can assign employees that have specialized traits for each department. You can then train them. They also have certain needs like clean working environments, trash cans, bathrooms, a lounge, etc. The graphics aren't anything to write home about, but they're not terrible either. I don't think graphics are super important in a game like this. I think it mostly comes down more to style over fidelity. The most notable thing is that this game is obviously 3D. The first one was 2D. Game Dev Tycoon is also 2D. I think the UI is a little bit better, but it's less simplistic, so it can be somewhat confusing to navigate at first. Once you get used to it, I mean, it's fine. The soundtrack was actually pretty catchy. I did like that. But anyway, the whole game is basically just the story of your studio. You don't have to only make games. You can also release consoles. You can publish and produce other studios' games. You can make arcade cabinets, even your own Game Pass. But I think the core of the game centers around game development, so let's talk more about that. Making a game is rather straightforward. If you don't have protection unlocked, you have to find a publisher in order to release it. Which you can then actually gain reputation with that publisher, and at max rank you unlock exclusive contracts that pay a little bit more. I had a little bit of frustration trying to figure out what the algorithms that determine things like review score do and how they're weighted. It's not immediately clear what each of these sliders does. You can eventually do a game report and other research that gives you a little bit more information, but it seems to me that the more you focus on a certain topic and the more developers you have, it will actually increase the score. Which I actually prefer this to something like Game Dev Tycoon, where releasing games which are too similar will give you a progressively worse score the more you do it. It makes more sense, it makes it more realistic. I think of something like Bethesda Game Studios, which is known for single player RPGs, and deviating too far is probably a mistake. But overall, I certainly enjoyed the 30 hours or so I spent with this game. At only $25, you definitely get your money's worth. I will say you can certainly break this game if you want to. For example, at the end of one of my playthroughs, I actually went evil and I bought every other company, and I made the only game available some garbage free-to-play gotcha game, but I made obscene amounts of money off of it. But I feel that the most fun of this game is in the beginning and middle stages where you're competing with other companies and trying to grow your studio. Although I will say buying a studio like EA and then shutting them down is also a pretty good feeling. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed my time with this game. If you enjoyed this sort of content, please let me know. This is my first video, and I'm always open to feedback. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, whoever you are, and take it easy. I'll see you next time.